Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Lisa and I have a special guest today for the challenge chat video, which is the lovely Melissa from Down Under Divas. So hi, thanks for taking the time to join us. We've got a special edition for you today. It's the November monthly challenge chat, plus a bit of a sneak peek into the world of Down Under Divas, which, as you know, is one of my favorite events that I participate in each month. So I dragged Melissa here, not quite kicking and streaming, so thank you for joining me, to give us a bit of a sneak peek about what you can look forward to in Down Under Divas next year. All right, well, let's start with what's happening with November. With Warriors, we have got our focus event, obviously, starting this Friday, and Beat the Modmin, which lots of people are having fun with. We have got our categories, and our categories this month was letter B. So I don't know how you'll go, but if you have any ideas of things you could work on for these ones, Melissa, please do let me know.
Okay.
So the first one, and I haven't got any of my pictures ready for anyone today, an animal or a plant starting with the letter B. Anything come to mind that you might have?
Bird.
That's a great easy one. Yay. See, I didn't even think of that. I am focusing on a few pieces because I've got to my goal of where I wanted to be, but I'm still focusing on getting a few more finished. So, sorry, really bad today. I'm doing the Greenhouse of Oddities sale.
I
And
like that one.
yep, and there's actually a plant in there. I looked it up, I read all the information, and it was a bat something flower. So I'm doing the bat something flower from Greenhouse of Oddities.
Okay.
Something to do with the beach or the ocean.
Well, wouldn't you just go beach?
Well, again, I didn't even think of that. First thing that I thought of was a beach ball.
Oh, yeah.
So I am working on for my whip go. What got called was actually my train of dreams. And I know it's not quite a beach ball, but there's balls or marbles, but I'm calling them balls.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm picking for that. Color. What's the first color you want to stitch in?
Blue
That was the one I picked too, but also brown or
or
beige.
black.
Black, yeah. So it's pretty, it's like lots of people have been saying, oh, B's a hard letter, but when they start thinking about it, it's not actually too bad.
No.
Something related to humans.
Oh.
A beard,
Oh, yeah. A
brows,
belt.
a belt, a buckle, a badge. There's all sorts of things. So I'm not sure what I'm doing for that one yet, but oh, I do know what I'm doing. I'm going to do bow or bow.
Oh, yeah.
It's both. Man-made.
Well, that could be anything, couldn't it? Oh,
It could be, but have you got anything on any of your whips that is man-made starting with a B?
I don't know.
All right. Well, I do.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, you have a look. I've got a bridle on the horse
Oh, yeah.
in the Castle Homecoming sale. So my goal for November is to catch up my Castle Homecoming sale, work on my oddities, and keep working through Savannah because she's the only one left from my original list to get down to 50. I've done some others, so I'm going to be down to where I want to be.
Yeah.
But I want to keep working on her.
I've got a book
There you go. That works. That's
in the
man-made.
Rocky Horror Sale. There's a
Yep.
book in the middle.
Lovely. That works. You do love your Rocky Horror.
I do.
Yes, nothing wrong with
Strangely enough, I don't like stitching people, so that's an odd one for me.
Oh, there you go. All right, next one is travel related.
Buggy. Not that I have one, but
I just finished one last month. A buggy's a good one. I had another thought, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, you'll just have to go with buggy. Got a board, like a surfboard.
oh yeah, surfboard.
Potentially a bird, like a carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's traveling a message. I don't know, but Martha is pretty lenient. So Seasons. Any seasons starting with B? It's a hard one.
The season starting with B.
So this is where I end up going to Google. Let's see what if Google says anything. Well, there is a year B season after Pentecost. I don't know what that is. So the church season. There you are, Lent. Lent is called year B is Lent. So
Oh yeah, because Lent has different years.
yes, so there you are. You could get away with it. Do something to do with Holy Week, Easter, Christmas, Advent. You could probably say it's something to do with year B in the church. Something I learn every time.
There you go. I've got a whip with a church on it, but that's about as close as I'll get to that, I think.
I can do that because I'm doing Angel, Lion and Lamb, and she looks like she's very Christmassy in that dress.
Yes, she does. Yes.
So I think I could get away with that. Or Lent. I could tie it into the church easily.
Yeah.
And then a holiday starting with B.
I'm not really up on holidays outside of the normal ones, but there's all those weird ones.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. Holidays starting with B. Holidays and observances starting with B. As I said, Google is your friend. Oh my goodness. Okay. Where are we got? We've got a whole list. All right. There's Babbling Day, Babe Ruth Day, Baby Massage Day, Backpack Safety, Bagpipe Appreciation Day, Bald Eagle Day, Balloon Ascension Day. There's so many. So Google it and find it out. Same thing, I'm not really going to bother going through them, but musical books, television or movies, there's heaps of things you could do with that. But these are the harder ones, a designer and a patent title. Do you have any designers or patent titles you're working on that start with the letter B?
Yes.
Yay.
So I have a pattern that is called Baskets by Rosewood Manor.
Ah, lovely.
And I also have a pattern from a designer called Box and Fox, which is from Etsy, which is like a 1920s, 30s lady.
Well, there you go. See, easy for you. You're going really well on the bees.
Yeah.
I have designers and patterns, but they're not in the ones I'm focusing on. So I'll just let those ones go to the keeper. We don't have to do it all. You get your participation for whatever you do.
Plus, there's also I'm not working on it this month, but the Bluey Sal. There's quite a few bees out there.
Anything to do with a bee. If you're doing any of the bee queens and that sort of thing, there's another animal, a bee.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what's happening in the world of categories with no new starts. Do you participate in any other particular groups?
I do Magical Stitches and is it called Fandom?
Yep.
They're the two other major monthlies groups that I participate in.
Oh, that's good. So do they do how do they work for a monthly? What do they?
So Magical Stitches only does monthlies at the moment. So they release 15 prompts every month. And then Fandom has weekly challenges and they also do a monthly challenge. And this year this month, their monthly challenge is all about colour.
Colour. Lovely. All right. Well, see, it's good to learn there's more ones out there. So if you're interested in those, go and look them up on Facebook.
And if you like Disney, Fandom is doing classic Disney next year.
Classic Disney in Fandom. Oh, that's good to know. All right. Thank you for that. Semi-Sane has got lots happening in November.
Yes.
Obviously, the Focus Challenge, this or that, near or far. They're doing their very popular Letters of Fortune.
Yes, I'm playing that.
Yep, and it's BAPpening. So it's working on a BAP. So there's lots and lots of things, as well as the yearly goals, plus a different one, which is called Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed. Are you playing in Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed?
No, I'm only doing the Focus Challenge and the Letters of Fortune this month with them.
Well, it's basically you basically have to do something stitch on a whip that's something that you're grateful for and tie it into a whip. And basically you do per item, you get points for per item. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to Down Under Divas. So let's start with November. Stitching through the decades still, dancing through the decades. What are you doing this month?
What are we doing? So this month in Dancing Through the Decades, we are doing the 2000s, the noughties, as they're called. I'm just trying to find my Facebook so I can bring it up. So what we do is every month we focus on events that happened in that particular decade. So did you want to go through them?
Well, you just read us like this, the brief summary, like what are we stitching or whatever, not the whole prompt.
No, okay. So the first prompt is 2000 stitches on a piece related to Harry Potter or the Wizarding World.
So that's pretty good. So I was struggling with that originally because, you know, it's not on my list of things, but then I realized that in the Castle Homecoming there is a wizard.
Oh, cool.
So who makes it Wizarding World, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
you're the boss, but using my brain, I know you're pretty good at when people can make a logical connection, you tend to like it, so it's good. And I love the fact also that you go through and you like it earlier in the month. So
I try.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, that's approved, great.
Yeah.
So 2000 stitches for me on Castle Homecoming because it's got a wizard in it is my best bet for that.
That's good. I'm using I don't have a full picture, but the Cunningham cross stitch one from a while ago. I'm still
2 years ago.
Yeah, still plodding through that one.
Not surprising. It was a big stitch.
It was. So yeah, that's the one I'm doing. So the next one is 2000 stitches on a piece that shows a partial face.
Okay. Well, I again didn't have too much problem with this one fitting into my whips, which is great, and I want to get lots of stitches done on it. And so where has she gone? I clicked on the wrong picture. There it is. I am going to work on Savannah's curtsy because she's got a partial face.
He does.
You can just see the back of her cheek. So that's my partial face. See, you're being really nice to my goals, Melissa. Thank you.
That's all right. So I'm doing the Pain-Free Craft sale from last year, the Wind in the Willows one, because the bunny has a partial face.
Lovely. Yeah, it's not that hard to find when you go looking.
No, I thought that one, I try to make some of them challenging, but not all of them.
Yes, that's what I like, because then I can usually get a lot of them. And as people know, that's been my driving force, the Down Under Divas, for the whole year. And a couple of months I've gone, no, I can't do it, and I do the fortnightly instead. But I try to do these where I can.
Yeah, these are my main ones.
Yeah.
So number 3, stitch 1000 stitches in red. Okay.
Well, if I do this one, it'll be the welcome.
Okay.
Because it's in red, metallic. So 1000 red metallic, but it's got to get done. So we'll see.
I know. It's a good reason.
End of the month and see how I go.
Yeah. Well, I'll be doing the lady again.
Yep, there's lots
a lot of red in there. Number 4, stitch 1000 stitches on a piece by a European designer or that shows a European scene.
Again, I think you just designed this with me in mind. So, you know, you can't tell me that my good old European town is not a European scene.
No, it looks like a town in England or
somewhere like that, or with Brussels or something.
Yeah. I just went with Modern Folk because he's from the Netherlands.
Very nice. That's a good one too.
I have a few of his too. So, next one, 1000 stitches on a piece showing a social interaction.
Okay. Well, again, when I first thought about it, trying to think how it's going to fit into my pieces, I didn't know. But my most obvious one obviously will be the Castle Homecoming. They're going to a ball. That's a social interaction.
It is. I'm just doing a hug.
That's a social interaction too. That's a cute piece.
It is. That was the one that brought me back to cross stitching.
Ah,
Because
nice.
you always start on a full coverage shade. Yeah.
Of course you do.
Next one, stitch 500 stitches on a piece that depicts a tropical destination like Bali.
Okay, this one I'm a bit out of the box, but there's a lot of tropical plants inside my greenhouse of oddities. May not get through the gatekeeper, but that's the best I've got for this one.
No, I'd probably let that one go.
Well, thank you. But look, I figure it's 500 more stitches I get done regardless of whether you let it go or not.
That's it. And I've got dolphins.
That's more what the prompt says, a nice tropical destination. Look, I'm not stitching on it this month, but I mean, I could have done my animal kingdom.
Yes, yeah.
That's more solid.
There's a lot of things in that one.
There is. It's a great piece.
Okay. Next one, stitch 500 stitches on a piece with fire.
Okay, again, I thought I was going to have no chance, and then I looked and went, oh, my dragon's breathing fire.
Well, that's clever. There's a lot in that piece too.
There is.
I'm just going with Rocky Horror again because there's some fire on the candles up in the corner.
Yeah, and that's a good one to remember for everyone. That I often don't think of the fire on the candles, but anytime you've got a candle or a lantern that's the old style, it's got fire in it because it's got a flame. That's fire.
And I don't have a lot with other fire, so I tend to rely on candles for those ones.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I tend to rely on dragon breath or a horse.
Dragon breathes bubbles, not fire. Okay. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece with children.
Okay, my Castle Homecoming's got children in it, so that piece is coming in very handy this month for me.
It is. It is. I'll try and find mine. It's, yeah.
I just wish you had the colour green because I've got all the green grass to do.
There's not a lot of green. Green's a hard colour to prompt.
Yeah.
I'm doing Nutcracker Tree. It's got little girls dancing.
It does. Cute.
500 stitches on a piece with something naughty.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I've actually picked what it is yet. I think I could pick a lot of different ones that I've got. I mean, obviously in Castle Homecoming, there's bound to be something, but I'm already using that for a lot of prompts. So I probably would prefer to do something different. And I'm thinking my favorite thought at the moment is my little dragon is up playing after bedtime. So he's being naughty.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing a black cat because my black cat's incredibly naughty.
Well, that black cat looks like he's about to put his.
I know, he looks quite, yeah.
which has fire in it too.
Yes, it does. That was my choice, that one or the other one for fire, but because I wanted to use that for naughty, I used the other one. Stitch 500 stitches on a piece related to the United States or with a mode of transport.
Okay, so I don't have the United States, but I do have horseback riding as a mode of transport.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have the United States either. And transport, I had a lot of options. But I've got to get some stitches into this one because it's for my husband. And I don't like stitching on it. This is the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, wow.
And down here in the corner, there's a transporter.
Yep. That is a mode of transport. I was just thinking I also have my train on my Train of Dreams with my naughty dragon. So it depends on what I want more stitching on.
I've got trains and motorbikes and bicycles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went with that one because I've got a
bike. I knew there was something else.
Oh, yeah.
Method of transport was a bicycle or a boat.
Or a boat. But we came up with buggy and that was
all we could come up with at that second. There you go, people.
Okay, so the last one is stitch 500 stitches on a piece with a wave.
Okay. Obviously, you want the water, but I didn't know, again, if you were going to accept it, but my little wizard is waving his wand.
No.
Hey, it was worth a try.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Debbie would be proud of me because Debbie likes to go with this, out of the box.
I'll go out of the box, but
No, not that far out. That's fine.
all right. So I'm doing cancer.
Oh, that's definitely got waves in it.
But I had a lot of choice for waves as well.
I have waves. They're just not on the pieces I want to do this month. So that's
no,
fine.
you're like me. My whips I put up for this are the whips I focus on for the whole month.
Yeah, I'm enjoying having a bit more of a focus, and next month or later this month, I'm going to have the joy of getting to pick which ones I'm going to focus on next year. So people,
I don't. I focus on my whip goes. They have to have so many stitches put in them every year.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I just jump around what I've got.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's talk about next year then, since that's why we've got you here today, especially, is to talk about what's happening Down Under Divas. And while Melissa's getting all that together, I'll just remind people that Down Under Divas is a group that is really good for motivating you, particularly if you like to stitch large numbers of stitches and get through the group, but you don't have to do it all. It's definitely a group that has helped me to not be a completionist, because I often can't get it all done, and that's okay. I just get done what I can, and you get rewarded for whatever you do, not what you don't do. So, and as Melissa said, some of the prompts are designed to be challenging and others not so much. All right, so what are we doing?
So next year we are questing through space is our main theme.
Sounds good.
So every month we'll be visiting the sun or one of the planets or something else. To come up with 12, we had to be a bit sneaky with the last two.
I bet Pluto made it on, even though it's not officially a planet.
It did, because it was a planet for the majority of my life.
Exactly. And you needed 12. So yeah, I still don't understand why it's not a planet, but that's okay. I don't care.
I've learnt now why it's not a planet by
I'll
writing
look forward to learning that
prompts.
when I get to it in the prompts, I'm sure.
Yes.
That'll be good.
So that's our main one, and it follows the same format that we've been running for the last couple of years, because I think that works.
It does. As I said, it's really good because you've got your couple of really big chunkers with the 2000s, the 1000s, and then a bunch of 500s. And 500, sorry, wouldn't be a video if I didn't yawn. 500 for a monthly is not a lot to ask someone to do. So I like the fact that it's a substantial amount for you to do.
And it's been designed so if you want to aim for the lowest level, the 3000, you can do it all in 500 stitch chunks.
Which is great. I have a question for the people might be thinking is, what if I can't get the 2000 done? Does it still count what I do, or do I have to get the 2000 done?
You have to get the 2000 done.
Yeah.
So we have relaxed the rules a little bit. It used to be one whip only. We're now allowing up to 4 whips on the 2000 and 1000 stitches, and up to 2 whips on the 500 stitch prompts, unless you get a finish. If you get a finish, then you can substitute something else in. We also have the free pass every month. Not everybody's been using that, so I don't know that everybody knows about it. And as a sneaky peek, next year we will still be running the Finishes for Freedom event, but there'll also be an option to nominate a penalty project for the monthlies.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. And so does that,
a lot of people have been asking for penalty options for the monthlies. So you'll be able to nominate a project for
that's cool. So you can work on that project instead. Do your 2000 stitches on that or whatever. Awesome. That's cool. Yes, I often forget about your free passes, and I need to go back to using them because it's a good, it basically can give you a free for 500 stitches. So
I don't always use them, but sometimes if I just don't have a whip that fits, because I don't write the prompts to fit my whip, I just write the prompts.
Yeah, which is good. That way you get to have the fun of working them out too.
Yeah. So sometimes I use them, but for whatever one I can't match. And if that's the case, I'll often put in a whip go call or something to fill in that space.
The biggest thing that I have to remember to do is put my password on the start photo, because I always forget to do that. But the good thing I like about your one is at least it's a 500 chunk, so I don't have to keep putting it on. I just put it on once and I sit it through. So it's good.
Yeah, I don't really like passwords myself, but it just became necessary.
Unfortunately, yes. I don't know why people make it so that it's necessary, because, this is all about encouraging us to work on our projects and get through our whips and things. So why cheat when you're just going to be cheating yourself because you want to just get the projects done? But
I
understand.
know. And I could be like other groups and hold them back until the day. But when there's such high stitch counts, I think you need the time to
Planning.
be able to plan what you're going to do. And
Yeah.
I've pretty much planned my whole year for next year.
Well, because you know what everything's saying. I mean, I saw it is jumping up at it's starting to jump up, so you can plan. I tend to not look at them in advance. I just wait till the month, but the last few days of the month is when I like to plan. So I appreciate that they go up earlier, because it does pick my whips for the month. Mostly, if I can make something fit, then it's like, yep, that's the one I'm doing. You also do a fortnightly, prompt.
We do. Yes,
So
and that'll continue. So the fortnightly prompts have the levels as well. So you can either do 100, 200 or 300 sticks. I actually use the fortnightlies as like my daily 100.
okay.
And they could be on anything. They don't follow a theme. They're just really random.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. I haven't
And we do a penalty color rather than.
Yes, I like that. That's really cool. I haven't done much of them because I've been struggling just to get through with my amount of stitching. Just to do the monthly is enough, but that's okay. It's good to have the options, and I like the fact that you cater it. And for people who are smaller stitch count people, the fortnight is a better option. Maybe try and do one monthly or whatever. But obviously some people go, oh, I can never do 2,000. No, well, don't do that one. Do a 500. All right. Well,
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't find groups that did big stitch counts, so I had to create my own.
yeah, well, I appreciate you did. As I said, it keeps me very motivated. Between you and Whip Warriors, it keeps me going, and then I play all the other games on the side. Myth and Magic has just started up again, back on Facebook where it was a few years ago. So busy doing that. And yeah, I'm in a lot of groups. Some of them I feel like I'm just posting for no purpose, so I probably won't last with them because it just takes my time to post. But I like the ones where I'm actively involved and actively doing. So if people want to join Down Under Divas, what do they do?
Just need to go to the page and or find the group and sign up. You do need to answer some questions. If you don't answer the questions, you will be declined.
Yeah.
We used to send off nice messages, but Carolyn and I don't have time to do that anymore. So if you get a decline, it's probably just because you didn't answer the questions. We haven't declined anybody yet for any other reason. So
Yeah. So if you get declined, just get back on and make sure you find the questions and answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes depending on with different groups, when you click on it, sometimes the questions come up and sometimes they don't if you're referred by a friend or something. So sometimes you have to hunt around for them a bit.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. So I found if you click on the join button from some random spot in Facebook, it doesn't show you the questions. Or if somebody invites you, it doesn't show you the questions. So you've actually got to go to the group and click join to get the questions, I think.
Yeah, so search Down Under Divas and click join, and then you'll get the questions the easiest way.
Yes.
Whip Warriors is continuing next year and continuing in much the same style as what we've done. We will be opening up to new members halfway through this month in November. So I will let people know on my floss tube when that's happening, but just a heads up to look out for it. We'll be opening for new members, so the last couple of weeks of November is the time to join so that people can start participating and getting the hang of how things work in December, ready to, hit the ground running in January. Again, people seem to like that preparation time, so we let them in. we are continuing the road trip, but it will be a new group because we're traveling around Australia next year. We will be visiting the LNSs, of which there are a multitude, aren't there, Melissa? So we will be going to all the LNSs that I know of. That will happen, but we will be visiting lots of other fun things as well, because unfortunately, unlike this last few years where we've been going around visiting every LNS in America, where there's like one in every town or two in every town, we had to come up with a different plan for Australia. And plus, we've got to get from America to Australia, and I will tell you that we are catching a cruise ship to do that.
Okay.
So, lots of fun to be had there. Anyone who's a member of Whip Warriors can then elect to join the road trip group as part of their participation requirements, and have fun stitching and learning things along the way. So apart from that, I think everything else is just plodding along as normal. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Melissa. We'll look forward to having you back again another month, but really good to get the heads up on what's happening down on Divas.